Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Paul and this is my Reiki I introduction video. So let's get started. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I practice in Calgary, Alberta, that's in Canada if anyone's international here. My practice primarily focuses on autoimmunity, infectious diseases, autism, digestive health, detoxification, and cranial work. I use nutrition, homeopathy, biodynamic osteopathic manipulation, acupuncture, drainage, homeopathy, hydrotherapy, herbs. I do a lot of things. So I also do Reiki, and I've been doing Reiki since 2000, so actually more than 20 years now. I've got my Reiki 1 in 2000, I got my Reiki 2 in 2001, and Reiki 3 was in 2005. I really strongly suspect my love of Reiki really motivated me to go into naturopathic medicine, which is my current career. And it also massively developed my ability to do distance healing and some very more, I've never heard of anyone else doing osteopathic manipulations via distance, but I totally do. So, and that's because I developed that skill set beginning with distant Reiki and doing it over a long time. And so I'm doing this April 6th, 2020. Seeing how many patients are distressed, I decided to found a support group for them to do distant Reiki on each other and to really help each other during this crisis. So I'm going to teach everyone how to do Reiki so we can do this. So this is what this video series is about. So what is Reiki? Reiki is an infusion of energy into the body and the vital force of an individual. There are a number of traditions of hands-on healing that do this. Reiki is particularly special because it is transmitted via an attunement, an energetic, transmission process by someone who is themselves attuned to the Reiki lineage. It is given via a direct laying on of hands or via distance treatment, which we'll cover in Reiki II. Reiki can be given to anyone, any age, any medical condition, as long as one has permission, and we will go into that. There are no contraindications, so no one's going to get worse if you do Reiki on them, and it will aid any other holistic treatment. It will reduce side effects and reduce the harmful effects of any conventional allopathic or any conventional medical treatment. Allopathic is the word that we use for conventional medical treatments. So if there are treatments that cannot be avoided that are not holistic, it will improve them. It will make them better and so forth. It's basically a supplement to the vital force. So I'm going to just explain a little bit about allopathic medicine. It's often called conventional medicine. It has a viewpoint that hasn't really changed in 2,500 years. We can see the first evidence of it in the Hippocratic Corpus, which was compiled about 2,500 years ago. And it's had this viewpoint for a long time, even though the sciences and the techniques have changed considerably. So it views the body as a complex machine. Disease is a malfunction of this machine. The malfunctions are finite, so there's a certain number of things that can go wrong. And two individuals can have something go wrong with themselves that is so similar that we can say that they share the same malfunction or the same disease, as it's termed. So we say that there are malfunctions that go wrong with people that are so similar that we can consider them the same malfunction. This is actually quite unique. So therapy in this system is an attempt to return the body to a statistical norm. If your blood pressure is high and we've determined that it's too high for health, we give you something to lower it. That kind of thing. You basically see the body's symptoms as a malfunction, you return them to normal. That's how this works. Vitalism is a philosophy of medicine that was also present in the Hippocratic Corpus 2,500 years ago, and it accepts the vital force, an overall directive power of the body which regulates it in health and illness as a whole. Illness is an effort to maintain and restore health. And illness is so specific to an individual that saying we have, two people share the same diseases is meaningless other than just as, a shorthand we use in medicine. You can say two people you're having, a lung problem or something like that because it gives you a general idea, but to suggest that two people have the same illness is really not something we do. We see people's complex, multifaceted, multidynamic individuals. Therapy in vitalistic medicine involves aiding the effort of the body or in supplying the body with fuel to do what it needs. So we'll just go into a little bit more detail with this. This is the process of vitalism as defined by two mentors of mine, Pamela Snyder and Jared Zeff, And it suggests that vitalism and naturopathic therapy have 6 steps. Creating the environment for health, making sure the person is in a healthy place, their environment is good, they're eating well, stress is manageable, their family life is nice, there are no toxins around their environment. Once you do that, you stimulate the vitality. You give the body a little bit of a kick in the butt to heal itself. Sometimes it needs that. 3, you tonify any weakened organs or blocks to healing. And 4, you address structural integrity. So when you do those things, most of the time you don't actually need to do much about pathology. The pathology just goes. But if it doesn't, then you address and prevent the pathology. And then if absolutely necessary, you need to suppress pathology. So let's go back to the concept of Reiki. Reiki, which is literally this influx of vitality to the patient. Where do you think this goes in this little thing? It goes right there. It is stimulating the vital force to heal. It is a very general stimulus to the vital force. Other therapies are available that do stimulate the vital force. Reiki, as well as constitutional hydrotherapy, which I do in my clinic, and electrotherapies are general vital force stimulators. They stimulate everyone who's applied on them in pretty much the same way. Homeopathy and acupuncture are very specific. All of these are incorporated with naturopathic medicine. So Reiki in vitalism is a lovely therapy. It is a direct infusion of vitality into the patient, which can be very helpful. The attunements, which I really like, make Reiki easy for anyone to do. You don't need to practice for years and years with meditation and visualization and focus to get, like you do in other traditions, to get this hands-on healing going. You can do it, Jane Doe, who has never done healing before in her life, can do Reiki with an attunement and a little bit of training that takes a couple of hours. And it strengthens and multiplies other treatments. If you're doing Reiki and hydrotherapy, it's not Reiki plus hydrotherapy, it's like Reiki times hydrotherapy. It multiplies with all these other vitalistic therapies to make them all that much stronger. Reiki can't do a few things. It can't replace many medications. EpiPens, insulin, if you're a type 1 diabetic, you still need those. It's not going to replace those. It can't replace good diet or a clean environment, and it is not for emergency medicine. If you get into a car accident, perhaps you might want to go to an emergency room, and so forth. There's still a need for care by other health professionals like chiropractors, medical doctors, and naturopathic doctors. So, Reiki it originated in Japan, and so a lot of the concepts really do derive from kind of the Japanese socio-cultural worldview. This has always been something I've been very fond of. My first degree was in bioscience and cultural anthropology, so I always like this. So the kanji, the Japanese characters for Reiki, are here. On the left are the old style ones because they reformed the kanji and simplified them, I believe in the 40s. Not sure about that. And on the right are the newer ones. So Reiki, when it was originally kind of designed, when it was originally explored, it was written as on the left. Now it's written on the right. Translated, Ki is spirit, energy, feeling, and Rei is divine. It can be translated many, many ways, but it's usually the effect of spirit in action. Reiki is typically divided into 3 degrees. Reiki I, which is the one we're going to go on now. Reiki II, and Reiki I teaches hands-on treatment only, generally. It's the introduction to it and the history and the ethics. Reiki II teaches the first 3 symbols and distant healing, which, I would suggest if you're going to go and participate in this group, I would suggest going to at least Reiki II and learning that so you can participate in the distance practices we're going to do. And Reiki 3 is was traditionally only one thing, but they've kind of divided up into two nowadays, which is fine. The practitioner level shows you how to use the master symbol and do advanced healing practices, and the teacher level will be doing attunements. I will not be teaching attunements, how to do attunements in this kind of group. I do think you need to get in-person training to do that, but hopefully we can do that one day. So we will be doing all of these via the group, via recordings, and we can do distance attunements and recorded attunements. So we're going to be doing all of this together. So I hope, yeah. So Reiki was traditionally taught orally by Mrs. Takata and in person. Some people, some traditions of Reiki are quite unhappy with writing things down and with drawing out the symbols. So I hope this doesn't become a problem in this group. I don't have a problem doing it. We do, however, recently have uncovered some letters, and Mrs. Takata did teach people via letter and via distance. She would do distance attunements and communicate with letters with people. So this is quite exciting, and she actually wrote down the symbols for them, and those letters survive. So distance attunements do work, and this is what we're going to do in this group until such a time as social distancing becomes no longer an issue. This is in the middle of the COVID epidemic for the people who are reading this in the future. So right now, this is what we've got. I founded this group as a way to really help a number of people who are unable to have contact and really not doing that well. It's a support group, a way to arrange Reiki shares, and hopefully in-person shares one day when life is returning to normal. We're going to offer free training, free distance attunements, and free online Reiki shares. I would encourage you to take Reiki training in person if possible. Now, this is just the introduction video. I'd encourage you to watch the videos on history, ethics and principles, and on treatment, and on attunements as well. And then watch the attunement video, which I'll post in the group, to receive the distance attunement and to begin to practice on yourself. If you've got any questions, you can ask them in the group, or you can email me at drpaulterrio@nd.nd@gmail.com, or drpaulterrio.com is my website. I really hope you guys liked this video, and please do drop me a line and tell me what you think about it.